Really think that you can stand a chance? Talk about this paper that you get in advance. Forget all the shit that you say in your rag, cause I'ma mop your hands up while your head's still attached. Hey.
Ain't no more room for dead bodies in the creek.
My boy play no games, keep marks, need no aim, look dirt, need no fame, pints in, need codeine.
You know what the fuck going on. What's going on, San Antonio? It is San Antonio Scenes.
Hello.
We are here with Dedspot Ryan
Yo.
and Joswayzee.
How's it going, guys?
Going good, going good. All right, so we're going to get started over here, man. You know what? Felicia started off.
Yes, I am. So exactly what is Dedspot Agency?
Dedspot Agency, I mean, we're kind of all over the place. We do a lot of things. We can offer many services to anybody. Like, if you need to get a house built, we can get someone to build you a house.
I see that
Shit.
you're
Like,
an
that's just
event
some other-
coordinator,
Yeah.
Yes, event coordinator.
artist manager,
Yes.
artist development,
Yes.
recording, mixing, master, show production, photography, and videography.
Yes, we got it all. We offer everything.
Damn, that was a lot. I love that. So, like, who exactly is Dedspot Agency? Like, who's a part of that? Because I'm sure you're not the only one that's running all that.
It's actually a very small team. It's just me, Joswayzee. We got Dedspot Justin, Dedspot Eric.
What do they do? Like,
Anna
Who
Hina.
does what?
Dedspot Justin, he does a lot of our graphics and production.
Cool.
Dedspot Eric, he does our photography and videos. Joswayzee is one of my artist managers, and Anna's one of my artist managers. But Joswayzee is also like a good, he helps me a lot with the business.
Yeah, and who builds the houses?
That's
So easy.
we don't gotta touch no house to build a house.
Hey, I feel that. Y'all some coordinators. That's, you know what I
Right.
mean. You're the ones that are coordinating that stuff, so other people, take.
I
care
mean,
of it.
if I can compare one person and what it sounds like, I would say that you guys are San Antonio's P Diddy. You guys are trying to do it all for the industry,
We're trying.
and that's a good start to one of my questions is, how do you feel about the music industry, or just the industry period? Like, what's your perspective on it, and how would Dedspot pretty much make it better?
I mean, you mean the industry like in all, or like here in San Antonio?
I feel like what you guys do is pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It could be music, it could be movies.
Right.
So, like, as far as the industry goes and, like, people's perspectives, I know I feel, I'm sorry, I feel like in particular that the industry does rip off the creators.
Right.
And I want to know what you would do for the artists or the people that are creators that you're representing. How do you make them better?
I mean, I do a lot of research on all the people around me that do the same things, and I look at what they're doing. I try to see, well, all right, this is the list of what they're doing. How can I make all of this better into one,
Yeah.
Like, what are they not doing that I can do? And, I mean, it really comes down to just, like, doing your research on people and seeing how you can improve or make it better for yourself.
That's awesome. Swayze, what's your take?
The industry is very big. So I think if you're in this industry and you're too cool to ask for help or too cool to talk to someone new, I feel that's what really sets you back. I mean, in the music industry, specifically like with hip hop, I noticed that people are too cool to do a lot of things.
Yeah. That's true.
I've no shame in saying that I get help from people. I've been in this music industry since I can remember, and being friends with people like Lil J is a huge help. Being friends with people like Ryan, making relationships with people like Morgan,
like-minded.
Morgan. Shout out Morgan.
You have to create a relationship with people for you to even make it in this industry. I mean, I know a hot topic right now is everyone's talking about the Cash Me Outside girl.
Oh my
right?
God.
Right? People are like,
That's another one.
people are like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look,
People
this
are
industry
wildin'.
who make it as an artist,
I feel like we are the ones that put these people in those positions.
and that's,
We do.
and
We
that's
definitely
fine.
do.
In this industry, if you want to be known as the super talented, above all artist, great, there's a job for you. It's called a writer, a ghostwriter who maybe it will eventually, if you have enough appeal to people, will make it out.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
Right.
people like Ty Dolla $ign or like Party Next Door. They didn't really make it as an artist at first. They were writing for people,
right.
and then they came up. Even going back as far as like Neo, you know, he was writing love songs for other people, and then he wrote his own love song that got him big.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. There's a difference.
Like Black Bear, he also writes a bunch of songs.
He's one of my
He's a
favorite
big one.
artists of all time. Like Black Bear was writing for people. He wrote a song for Justin Bieber with Mike Posner, got big. You
Mike
know,
Posner, too.
that's how this industry works.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be an artist? Okay, then start acting like one.
Okay, so that brings me to another point because I just was watching another podcast. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to plug anybody. Watch ours. But they were talking about how artists aren't being developed anymore.
Right.
We have all these artists that are pretty much developing themselves by putting their songs out on SoundCloud, and they're popping from that, and then they trickle down to nothing within a year.
Right.
But
I mean, I would say people don't do the research or take the time to figure out what they need to do to become successful.
Yeah. You
They
gotta have a
just wanna
plan.
do
You
it.
gotta go in with a plan. If you're
Right.
not going with a plan, then
I feel like not even a plan. You have to go with people behind you that know what the hell they're doing. They know how to maneuver through the industry.
Absolutely.
They know how to get you from being finessed. I feel like that's where Dedspot Agency. I mean, I would hope you guys are
I mean,
developing artists
Right.
as well, right?
We got a pretty nice list of
Yeah.
artists in town that I like that we're
Yeah.
working with right now.
And I think that
Nice.
goes hand in hand with longevity. If you have a good manager,
Right.
good developmental skills to help that artist stay, pretty much relevant,
Right.
you'll have longevity in that artist.
No one,
Right.
no one does it alone. No one's self-made.
You're
You get
right.
like, I'm self-made. No, you're not.
I mean, Chance the Rapper is screaming that pretty much.
He's not
Well,
though. He has Pat
he
the
does
manager.
have people behind
Right.
him.
He has
though.
Pat behind
Man.
him.
And then I heard that his dad is like some type of millionaire or multimillionaire. I'm not sure if that
Yeah,
information
I'm
is
not
true,
sure. I
but
don't know about that.
he's like, I'm not saying.
Everyone along the line, down the road, everyone's gonna need somebody. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are people. You're right. SoundCloud. And I've been keeping an eye on SoundCloud. A lot of people have been making it from SoundCloud. They go up and they go down like this. And a lot of it has to do because let's say like Ugly God. I like Ugly God, right?
Yeah.
So they'd be like, oh, Ugly God did it all by himself. It's like, yeah, but how much you want to bet that Ugly God along the way has made really good connections and has had a lot of really good help to keep him relevant.
Right.
Absolutely.
No one does it by themselves. So
They're not gonna present that.
no, they're not. They don't,
But
I mean, they don't have to. I
they're-
think
yeah,
just
absolutely.
the idea of you not needing anybody is what's really hurting
You're right.
the
It's complete
industry from
BS.
growing. Yeah, honestly, because I don't care who it is. Think about the biggest artist in your head that you see and hear about everywhere. They're not doing it by themselves,
Absolutely.
and they're
Drake got a whole
They pay
sweatshop.
someone to do
OVO.
they're
OVO got a sweatshop.
yeah they're so worried about
Yo.
maintaining their image as the artist, and that somebody else will do the rest of the work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
at the end of the day, that's what labels hire. You want to get paid that fat check just for being popular, it can happen. You have to have shock value. You have to give something people want. Like I was telling
Right.
Ryan before Lil Pump
Right,
blew
right.
up, and I told him, I was like, man, this guy's next. Before anyone was even like, chanting his
Because of
music.
his antics?
Yeah, because he was like out there. People were like watching him, and
How
then
do
he,
you-
16-year-old kid out here like
Yeah.
doing some
Look at
crazy
his
ass
hair,
things.
look
Do
at-
you
look at
like
his
him? And I'm not going to say do you like him.
Do you like
How
him
do
as
you
an artist?
how
or-
do you feel about these artists that come out with these antics and think that they could just run with that?
They're
and-
good businessmen. They
it's
know.
business.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's great business. They
Lil
see,
Pump right now is getting $20K a show at 16, 17 years old. He's a good businessman.
It's
Yeah.
their
Or
craziness.
even if
that-
it's not him, it's his team. Again, everybody has the people behind them to keep them at where they're at, especially in this industry.
Yo.
I mean, I do. It's like give or take with me. Like, I respect the fact that it's for money, but at what cost? Like the integrity of the culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a big fan of the way things are moving. Because, like I said, it seems like, and we've heard it before, a microwave generation. Like,
Right.
people are coming and going.
But it's our fault, though.
Yeah,
This is
and
our
you're
fault
right.
that it's
You
like
think
that.
about this, man. When news articles are posted and stuff like that, if it bleeds, it leads. That's something that I've learned when I was younger. If something is crazy, people are gonna want to watch it, and
Right.
people are gonna be interested in that thing. So that's where we're moving in this industry. Is
Right.
crazy. If it bleeds, it
Media-
leads.
The media be making up a bunch of stuff. It's just if you do your research to find out what's really going on or whatever, like you'll find the information
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. I saw that you guys worked with Little Dirk.
Yes, we just recently brought out Lil
Hey.
Durk Labor Day.
Yeah,
That
I
was
see
cool.
you promoting him a lot, and I'm just curious, how did that collab link up?
That collab came from the 3 cancellations that I had with this company. Not going to name any names because I like to do business with them. Well, we had the cancellations with the artists, and it was ultimately the artist just wanting to cancel for either wanting to get more money after signing a contract, or just decided to not want to come out after all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean, that second one hurt the most. The second and third cancellation, because it was like, it makes Dedspot look bad, and it's like they don't see how much work was in the background.
Yeah.
We worked really hard, and the thing is, once you start to develop your business and you become competition,
you take a hit.
That's when it gets good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now it's like Dedspot's not like some guys doing shows. Like, man, these guys are bringing a lot of kids to their shows. Like, we're giving away goodie bags to people. We're making it fun for everybody. We're paying extra for production. So like, it's getting fun, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we have these cancellations, and where are they coming from? And
it just takes credit away from you guys.
No, right. And
does,
then there was a lot of people that just,
I mean, but there's always going to be hiccups.
Yeah.
There's always going to be hiccups as long as you get back on your feet and
learn from the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
forward.
That Smoke Purple one was crazy, because we're just like, all right, cool, everything's good.
Yeah, because I saw that, was it Little Pump actually canceled on that one?
Lil Pump is probably like the least responsible on here, because like in the situation, it was kind of like the manager said it was cool for me to like post about it, but then Lil Pump was just like, oh, I don't want to do Texas right now, and I hadn't gotten the contract back from him.
Did it have something to do with I know he was just recently getting signed at that time.
That's a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Because once you get signed to a major label, there are so many hands. Like, you don't do what you want to do. Like, I have friends who are signed, and they were sitting on their records for 9 months before something happened, you know?
Right.
So like that, we're like, okay, we understand that one. We got Smoke Perp, everything's all good. And then like the day before the show, they're like, yeah, he's just not gonna show up. We're like, what? So are we gonna get an apology? Yeah, you'll get an apology and a tweet. Everything's all good to go. We're like, all right, great.
And did he?
No, we got nothing.
But you guys also, like, when you're dealing with the younger kids, especially 16, 17.
Right.
I mean,
exactly
it
what
kind
the
of comes
manager
with
was
a grain of
like.
salt. Like, you're dealing with immature people that aren't initially taking the business serious because they're seeing, oh, I'm getting a check regardless.
Right.
It's not a necessity for me to come and do this.
Like, the manager also, like, this is how this conversation started. The manager that we work with also managed books for Lil Durk, so we were able to fix all that with the same manager, agent, and made it happen. So, I mean, I had to do something that was either going to be bigger or like had enough, like it was like just as big as the people that I was going to bring out. And Lil Durk, I would say, is a pretty big artist.
Yeah, he's definitely well known. And that's actually a good question. Oh, I have a good question about Lil Durk. Because I actually followed the Chicago rap scene for a minute back in the day when it was really, really hot, when the whole Chief Keef was coming on the scene.
Right.
Lil Durk was on the cover of Double XL back in 2014. And he was kind of popping then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard he had a hit, maybe 2 hits, but he kind of fell off from there. And I'm just like, you haven't really heard him do any big venues lately, or just I haven't really heard any music
all the
from
shows
him.
that he does at Icy are like pretty
Are
big
they
shows.
big?
Yeah,
okay, maybe I'm just not
shows.
looking more, but I was just like curious, like, would you ever add Derek to your roster as far as you managing him?
Man, if I can manage Lil Durk, I can manage Lil Durk.
Definitely.
Really?
I'd have to say,
I mean, he has great online presence. He has the stats behind it.
Yeah.
He released like 3 songs in the past month, and they're almost each at like 1 million or more views already.
Oh, wow.
Like, he's got the support. The people just have to. It's all about the marketing for your events.
Yeah.
People have to see it to want to go to it.
Right.
Right.
So what you were saying with that is you haven't really seen much of them.
Yeah.
I think some artists are more inclined with their fans, like doing live shows and stuff like that, and not having much of a Twitter presence or social media presence. So it just depends on who's out there, like who the artist is. Right. If he wants to present himself one way or he wants to do it, live. You know what I mean? It's more personal.
I also took it as, and I'm not taking away from the quality of his music at all. I also took it that people, because this was like when he was popping, like Chicago rap scene was like really on the brinks. Like Chief Keef had just put like a lot of people on the map. Yeah. But I do feel like for the industry it was a little bit too much because they're really street.
No,
dudes.
for sure.
They're really street dudes.
They really are.
So I feel like the industry kind of just drained them for what they wanted.
Right.
And then kind of just like was like, no, this in real life you guys can never really be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like
I mean, there's also cycles. Like, I'm not sure if he's part of a label or anything, but he's working on an album right now. I'm sure once the cycle comes around again, the album's gonna be released. He's gonna get a bunch of promotion from it. He's gonna do probably a tour for it, which we might have a part of.
That'll be awesome.
And that's how he'll get his clout up again. It's like they never really fall off.
Yeah.
It's like that's why you hear arguments about, oh, they pushed my album back and there's like a fight about it. It's because like that's your opportunity to gain your clout.
Yeah.
Those are your clout tokens.
Cloud tokens.
That I gotta use.
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
I feel that.
Right? Yeah, the labels or whoever his team is gonna make sure that when it's released, it's gonna be everywhere. He's gonna have his tour. It's gonna be great, and then you're gonna see him again.
I know that definitely. What would you say that Lil Durk did for Dedspot Agency? Would you say that it brought it, like it gave it? Because when I saw that, I was like, whoa, like they're really out here. Like
Right.
Lil Durk is not just any local artist. He's
Right.
actually,
It definitely helped out with the past 3 like with the cancellations.
Yeah.
It definitely fixed that.
yeah.
People were still talking about, he's not really gonna come out. Y'all know what the fuck going on. It's like, no, you don't know what the fuck going on.
Yeah.
Like
Feel
we're really out here like
Yeah,
making
y'all
this
are.
happen. Like I'm not just playing no games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could sue Famous Dex and I could sue Smoke Perp, but I'm not gonna go down that road right now.
Wow.
Too early in my career.
Yeah, no, I feel that and like I'm glad we were having this conversation. I'm glad you came on set so that way people can see that, you know what I mean, y'all are really here working, you know what I mean?
Right.
And to everyone out there, like you guys really don't know what's going on behind the scenes
But
unless
these are the type of
you
people
do
that
it.
are behind the scenes boosting up these artists. So like I love to actually, for me to actually hear it, because I'm always a fan. I'm always a fan of whatever
Right.
artist I like. I'm always a fan, and I don't know what is behind them. So to actually have you guys here is,
Right.
I'm enjoying it.
It's very.
So what
Like-
inspired you guys to start this business?
I guess I could start.
Yeah, you start
'cause-
that
yeah. I started off as a performer back at the White Rabbit before the Paper Tiger was Paper Tiger.
So are you a performer?
Yeah. I used to
Ooh.
me and Despot Eric used to be in a band called
okay.
Roams and Ruins.
Damn.
But we used to work with this one guy, and I don't know how I even got into helping him. I guess I was just so eager to like just be there, being able to be on stage, give
Yeah.
me the opportunity to do it. I just loved it. The promoter, I don't know. I guess I'm good at talking to people or something. But I
Yeah.
was able to get that guy to like let me help him do things. I learned from him. After I stopped having a band, I was kind of like, well, either I can try to have a band again or I can try something else. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, I already learned a bunch from this guy, and there's a lot of things that I learned that I could change or that I think I could make better. Not necessarily that he wasn't doing them.
Yeah.
It's just I had my own ideas, and he didn't really want to take them into consideration. He just
Absolutely,
whatever
yeah.
he knew was working for him, and that's how it was working for him, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just decided to create my own thing.
Wow.
Nice,
So
But this was back when I was like 15. So
that's
I've been
crazy. That's
we've been working
crazy.
on shows for a while. I started with the metal scene.
Right, right.
So,
Okay.
Sway, how did you get involved?
I run a clothing brand called Furrow, and I do pop ups from time to time at concerts. And Ryan had an event with the Suicide Boys
Yeah.
at Corova, and I remember like my girlfriend and I would set up towards the front, and the guy's like, "Hey, you might want to set up in the back." All right, why? Like, what's so big about this show?
Yeah.
So we set up in the back.
This was a year ago
Yeah.
too. 20. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, what 2015?
Yeah, I think so.
And this
Oh,
was
2
at a
years ago.
Suicide
Yeah.
Boys concert.
Yeah.
Aren't
Yeah,
they
2
pretty?
years ago.
Aren't they pretty known?
They're
Yeah,
major
they're
now.
huge.
They're
Yeah, yeah.
they're
Yeah,
performing
Their
at the
shit
Acid
known.
Theater.
Yeah.
Mosh
Wow.
pits,
Yeah.
always.
yeah. I didn't know that. Like, this is like my fault,
You were like,
right?
dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we show up. We sold a ton of merchandise. The show was packed.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh. And then I was like, all right, cool. So this guy's good for business, right? So then he has an event on New Year's Day with Xavier Wolf, and I was like, okay, well, let me just go again because the last one did well.
Yeah.
And like
We
the
did
whole-
little things in between
Yeah.
there too. We had some other things that
Yeah.
he popped up at.
and I mean, and specifically him and Justin, were like super cool guys just to talk to. Like we weren't cool like that before.
Yeah.
And I like making conversation with the guys because they're real nice, you
Yeah.
know, and they're very talented. So it's like, all right, cool, whatever. So we do a show with Xavier Wolf, packed again, and I was like, well, hold on, what's going on here? My friend Reed, who's he produces, and is friends with him, he invited us.
All right.
He invited me to the studio, and he was
Yeah.
there, and like, you know, they're doing their thing, recording, and Ryan and I stayed behind, and we're just chit-chatting about shows and all that. And I was like, you know what? I think I have some pretty good ideas and opportunities for San Antonio in general, because his goal is to put on the best shows and help everybody out.
Yeah.
Right.
And what I wanted to do was give the right artists the perfect opportunity, right? Because when I used to perform, and we did really well, we sold out a few venues, we did some cool stuff.
Yeah.
What happened a lot was we're just put on every single show, and some of them were good, some of them were terrible, because we're just not the right band for the right show, right?
Yeah.
So my goal is, you know what? Let me put artists that I feel fit the bill on the right show.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of where it started. Right. All right, cool. So there's a little conversation
So
going.
you started organizing it more.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we sat
You
down.
definitely helped me
and
organize
we were
it
just like,
more.
you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just organize everything to where it makes sense for everybody. So everyone kind of got a job. You know, it was like everyone's really talented. You know, equally talented in my opinion. So I was like, you know what? Let's give certain people their responsibilities, and they kill it every single time. You know.
Right.
And then from there, you know, coincidentally, I met Alamo James at Ingram Mall, and I was like, hey, you know what? I think he'd be a good idea to put at, you know, X, Y, and Z show. And that's kind of how it started. Was
That's
like
how we
that.
started with Alamo James.
That's crazy.
From Alamo James
Rex.
came Rex, the very next show, the Chris Travis show.
Yeah.
So
And
now,
a few others, yeah.
yeah, we got some others too.
Is
but
it?
Kid Flame, how's Kid Flame doing?
Kid Flame's doing good, man. He just he recently moved back to Chicago.
Oh shit!
You had a
Yeah,
baby.
so-
Congratulations.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, shout out
Kid Flame's awesome.
He's
Like,
out
that
of the
dude's
San
like
Antonio
super
scene?
cool.
Yeah, no, he was.
Yeah.
We did an interview with him. It's probably like the second or third one, but
yeah, he was very excited for that. I saw that
he was
one.
he was really humble. I
Yeah.
liked him.
Yeah, very
he's
cool dude. I
Like
love
one of the
Kid
coolest. I
Flame.
forgot to like plug him in. Yeah, Kid Flame was one of the nicest guys too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a couple others like Black Katana. What else can I think of? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Nah,
we
you're good,
worked
you're
with a lot of people. Our production, me and Justin started Jurassic's 3 or 4 years ago,
good. Yeah.
and we just been going from it. We started off being EDM DJs, so we
Oh,
used to
shit.
do EDM
That's
shows.
awesome.
We opened up for Borgor for our very like second show, so like I kind of put us in the position to like get that out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's people that know who Jurassic is as a producer, but there's not that many artists that know who he is. And I mean, the shout outs that we get from Waves Movement for the Jurassic's beats and production,
Right.
I think we definitely got that going for us too.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Do you guys ever feel overwhelmed with trying to organize everything in the business and trying to get
No.
your hands in everything?
I think
the egos, I'd say for sure, is the
Yeah.
most overwhelming part.
What was
And
that?
is that just the
egos.
artists?
Yes.
Artist
Yes.
egos?
Big heads.
local, to be
Locals.
honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't gotta deal with
Yeah.
any
Oh my
BS
gosh.
from any headliners.
That's kind of like how this actually first started because of that.
Are they
because
divas already?
big
Yeah.
divas. It's like no, they forget like okay, cool. If you're the biggest artist in San Antonio, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I really am. Like, good
Right.
job. That took some work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does anyone know you an hour away in Austin? No, right? Okay. Houston's 3 hours away. No, not Houston. It's a big city. You should be known there.
Yeah.
No, not Dallas.
Well, we
So
do
where-
live
so-
in a generation of entitlement. A lot
So
of
where,
these
Right.
people-
No,
where,
I agree.
where exactly are you known? Oh, San
Right.
Antonio. Cool.
You know how big the world is. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
and
Right.
that's the same example I give
Yeah.
everybody. Like, so I look at your views. All right, great. So who are you? All right, I'm this person. All right, great. So how many views? What's the most viewed anything you have? Oh, my SoundCloud I have this much. All right, cool. Let's say it's 20,000.
All right.
You know, I'll be nice. Let's say it's 50,000. How many people live in San Antonio?
2
About-
million,
about 2
2.4
million.
million, or more than that now.
Right there. We're
So
growing,
you
right?
be doing the stats.
Yeah, I'm the stats, right? So
No.
of those 2 million, only
That's
50,000 views or plays is what's on your SoundCloud, right?
Yeah.
That's nothing
Absolutely not.
at
I mean,
all.
that's nothing. It's nothing. You're right. It's nothing when
Not
you
not
when
to
you
have
look
a
at
big, not to have a big head.
when you
Right.
yeah yeah
Not
yeah,
to
yeah,
come
yeah.
at me with
50,000 is
BS.
impressive.
Yeah.
Like if you can get 50,000, that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and I give kudos to everyone that's working hard.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's the egos that are our biggest problem, and that's how it started.
Yeah.
In February, we sat down, and I was like, I want to make the best local event San Antonio has ever seen. Kind of how I used to do it back in the day, like lights, production, sound. I want San Antonio to know exactly what they have, because San Antonio will be like, oh, no one's good here. There's a ton of really awesome talent. Like
Yeah.
There is.
Angels and Thrones.
We have a lot of
amazing.
artists in San Antonio that are actually signed that people don't really know
Yeah,
about.
so that was my goal.
Wow.
And we started booking this show, doing all this work, and then all of a sudden, egos left and right. And I'm like, what? Like, they wanted all this guest list. They wanted, like, all this pay. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, what are you even doing for this show?
Yeah.
I mean, give me some value here before you want to charge and do all this crazy stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you're not worth anything. Just chill.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm paying you for ticket sales. No one even pays you, really, in
Right.
San
I hear you.
Antonio. You know, so then right, you know what? We got this really good opportunity with Eddie Baker and Chris Travis. Again, I didn't know who they were at the time. And I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just scrap the local show because it looks like it's not even happening anymore. Because
Right, and we had 2 weeks left. We had 2 weeks left to promote that local show, and it hadn't even been announced. And I was like, not having it.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to do Chris Travis, Eddie Baker, coincidentally, like on the same day.
Nice.
So I was just like, all right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
stop
it-
dealing
and
with this bullshit
worked out.
and go do what
Cool
I know how to
guys.
do.
Yeah.
Cool guys.
Crazy.
You know,
Deal with my headliners.
you show up. What time am I going to perform this time? Cool. This is my quote. Nice. You bring people out. People have fun.
Right.
So you do run into those humble artists.
Most of the time, they're the signed ones. The signed ones are the most humble ones.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm sure they've been through some shit first.
That's
to
Right.
get
that's
to
what I'm
it.
saying.
Sure,
It's
they
because
know
they,
what
because
to-
yeah, because they've
Absolutely.
experienced like what is really like to be in the industry. Because here's the thing: artists are popular in regions, right?
Yeah.
So you can have your artists as like ginormous in San Francisco, and then you can go like Southern California, and they don't even care about you. Like
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
I like Kid Ink. He's from LA.
Yeah.
I like Kid Ink a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when I saw him perform, he opened up for years back. He opened up for Kendrick
He's
Lamar.
a really, really good artist. He's a
Yeah, he
really
opened up
good
for
artist.
Kendrick Lamar when he came to the Whitewater Amphitheater in New Braunfels. Yeah, there's a few people who were like, yeah, whatever. Then Kendrick Lamar comes out. Everyone was like, yeah. You know, it was
Yeah.
big. And Kid Ink, and at that time, was humongous in Arizona and LA. So,
He was big in
like,
Virginia at one point.
yeah,
too.
he was like headlining like all these events, and it's like that's what happens. They're big in regions, so they understand that. So we deal with artists who are grateful for the fact that like Ryan can hook them up with like some free stuff. You know, can't say it on the microphone. You know, hooks them up with
No,
some
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know, they get paid out.
No plug.
they get treated with respect. And it's like, oh great, they're truly appreciative over the moment. You know,
Right.
and some of the artists we did put on that show, some came from out of the city and were like, thank you guys, like that's the best opportunity I've ever
Getting
had
their
in my
name
life.
known out
Like,
there.
and some people came up from those shows, you know, and again, we put the right artist in the perfect situation, and they're super grateful, and
I love that.
that's the goal. Like, if I can book the biggest artist, if I can book, you know, Travis Scott, you know, Alamo James is a big Travis Scott fan, I'm gonna put him on the show. You know, if I can book,
Hell
That
yeah.
that would take some strings.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible though. We can do it, and that's what we
Yeah.
do. That's our goal. That's when people on the outside say all these things, is like you don't really know what our real intentions are.
I don't
because-
have to put any locals on
So
any
We don't-
there's
show.
we
no
really don't
limit
have
to
to.
what you guys
No.
are doing.
No, and he's right. We don't have to put these locals on because we have other like whenever we announce a headliner, other people who are in their like scene that are just about as big
Yeah.
would love to be in that show. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
we choose to have a headliner and locals. You look at some of these other events, they don't do that. They have
Would you guys say that you're picky about who you choose?
Yes. If you don't have good sound, first of all, if it doesn't sound good in my ears, it's not going to sound good on some huge speakers,
Oh,
and
wow.
everyone's going
That's
to be
true.
upset about it.
Yeah.
true.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Um,
if like with Alamo James, you know, he met me at Ingram Mall. He's like, "Hi, my name is Alamo James. I liked his story. I
Yeah.
thought it was inspiring. You know,
Yeah.
and this is before I even heard his music. So that's one way, relationships that we talked about off
Yeah.
camera, relationships, right?
yeah.
Another way is like, what do your visuals look like? What does your music sound like? Like, to be honest, like, you don't have to have like 20 million views
No,
for me
yeah,
to
not at
consider
all.
you. This is one guy, he emailed us, and his EPK, which if you guys don't know what an EPK is, Google it, because I'm not telling you. His EPK was so
Do
dope.
your
Was
research.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, man, I forgot his name. I was like, man, this is a guy that I would love to book. You know, which we didn't do it because I forgot why. I mean, if you have a good
I don't know, I
EPK,
get
if you have
a
a
lot of
good
people.
visual, all that stuff, we'll consider you.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna book you if you go, hey fam, put me on.
Yeah, I get a
Hey,
lot of that.
Hey guys,
Don't need
y'all are
any
whack if you don't
bullshit.
put me on.
I know
And then-
exactly what
Oh,
you're talking
God.
And
about.
then you get your fans.
You get that? Y'all
yeah,
are whack.
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
I'll
like,
never forget that one.
And
Oh,
reckless.
put Slack in, put so and so on, blah blah blah. It's like you don't hit me up that way. And then when sometimes I get emails, yo, put me on.
Yo,
That's-
it's
That's
how
all the
you
email
It's
says.
how you
it's all you
communicate.
represent yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you
know what
are
I mean?
your business. If you
Exactly.
even if I have no clue who you are, which for the most part I don't, because I mean this is more of his scene, like the
Yeah.
underground scene,
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
me. If you were to contact me and be like, "Hey, my name is da 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 da. This is what I do. I really appreciate blah blah. This is a show I want to be on.
It's more
Here's
approachable.
my press kit or a photo of me, something like, all right, cool, let me check you
Right.
out. Hey Ryan, check out so and so because he made a pretty good impression on me. Let's
Right.
just give him a chance.
And I always make tweets like, I always say the same thing. Like, if you want to be a part of this show or you want to have the opportunity, send me like, your stats. Send me your EPK. Like, send me something professional.
Something,
Yes.
yeah.
Like, so I can see that you're really about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the opportunity to open up for an artist that sells out venues and you're going to be
Yes.
performing in front of this crowd that they have. If you're not taking this serious
Yeah.
enough,
Yeah,
it's just a
honestly.
waste.
That
It's a
makes so
waste
much
of that
sense.
spot.
Definitely.
I respect that a lot. A lot. My question is, what if they have the stats, but you don't necessarily like their music? What do you guys do in those cases?
If it fits,
Right.
if it fits, I don't have to like your music. I don't even have to like you.
You're not gonna like mix a certain sound with like fucking indie or something.
Right. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
If I
put
feel like-
Slayer on a
Said Slayer.
like
Pump show.
whatever. Yeah, on a little
Little
pump
pu-
show. Exactly.
Yeah. If I feel like, hey, it fits, you have the right crowd for the show, let's do it.
Yeah.
When
Right.
I used to do like a lot of shows as a headliner, I'd met a bunch of like openers. Hi, my name is, and some of them did well. I didn't have to like you, but I respect your hustle. Like, you kill it.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Like, I can respect that. I'm gonna give you guys like a quick tip on how to become an artist and look presentable. Do you have a friend who has an iPhone 7 or
attention.
6S or a 7 Plus or a nice Samsung?
Let's go.
Take a good photo, download a good editing app, and light. It's like $5,
Right.
and light.
Dude.
Upload the photo. You want good music? You want to sound good when you record? Record on a decent mic and
Yeah.
get someone who can mix and master. Doesn't have to be
Yep.
the best in the world. Boom.
Yep.
Too many people are doing it the cheapest way, and they're not
Right.
smart about it. You don't have to spend money.
Oh, I got a USB mic and it was like $10.
Do you guys also offer those services if somebody comes to you like, look, I'm a blank slate.
Yeah,
I
we'll-
want to
we'll
be
do it.
shaped into.
If I can see your vision,
If
like
you can see the
if I can see the
potential,
vision or
yeah.
the potential in it, then we can do it. Like
You definitely
that's how
gotta
Rex
have
came to me.
something show.
I met Rex after the Chris Travis show at the Denny's that we were at. I didn't even know who he was. He just came up to me.
Oh, I
He was
remember
like,
that.
Remember, I was like, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
And then, now we got Rex got bands out here, really doing some things for him.
He's popping off, man.
Yeah,
He
like
really
we're doing
is.
some great things. We're gonna be
Rex
doing a
is
video
like-
soon.
Rex is cool. He's a
gonna
cool
be
guy.
doing a track with that YBN Namir coming up.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
see the future. Like, I'm looking at you guys, and I literally see the future. Like, you guys
That's
are about
dope.
your shit, and I really like.
Make it happen. Keep it going.
inspiring. It's inspiring me, and I'm trying to get on. So
Yeah.
like,
So we can even just like on some other stuff. Like I've made posts about it before, but if someone has a business, you don't necessarily need the money to create your business.
don't give all
Absolutely
the cheat
not.
codes.
No.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like if someone has a business idea, they can come to us about it. We can make it happen. I mean, we'll just work out a deal
Yeah,
on
you gotta
how
use
it's
some
gonna happen.
resources.
But
Yeah.
you don't need money up front to make your business happen.
You don't need money. You need a strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you need. There's a
Yep.
lot of millionaires out there that lose all their money because of a bad decision. You don't
Yeah.
need more money. You need a better strategy. I guarantee
Yeah.
you, if you were to have a strategy for what you want to do, whether it be music or whatever, you would have a good startup. You'd
Yeah.
be successful at least in the very beginning.
Right.
We helped out another artist with merchandise. His concern was, I'm stuck. I have no money. How do I do this? Well, why don't we just do a pre-order? What? Yeah, do a pre-order. Nothing comes out of your pocket.
Right.
And it worked out just fine.
Yeah.
Cut him a check because he used my website. He's for my clothing brand. He used my website.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
it did well. He got
Yep.
paid. I mean, there's ways. If you we said off camera, like if you just do it, you can probably do it, right?
Yeah.
If you just do that, like Lil J, I remember when I first talked to him, I was like, yeah, cool, nice to meet you. We became good friends, and then I was so scared to ask him, like, can you give Danny Green some stuff to wear? Like, I was like so scared to just ask him that. And then like now that I know him, like we did a shoot with my brother, and like Des also like did the shoot as well, and like
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you want to take photos of Danny? You want him to wear some stuff? Like, yeah. Like he's like super adamant about like,
Yeah.
like I want to help people out. There's people in San Antonio, like Lil J, me, Ryan, that want to help you out.
Exactly.
Just don't come at us
Just-
with no bullshit.
Yeah, just approach
Yeah.
us the right way.
Yeah.
I'm
you
on
know?
that boat too. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
approach me the right way. Hey, how's it going? My name is like. How would you talk to somebody else? Like, don't be Mr. Cool Guy. If that's your appearance online,
Right.
great. I'm glad you're selling it. Talk to people like you want to be treated professionally
Yeah.
in like
Exactly.
a business.
Exactly.
Like even like Lil Pump, he's big, right? I guarantee you he doesn't walk around all barred out like, hey, do you want to sign to me? No, I guarantee you he sat in a long table with his managers and all that, had a very professional conversation
Yeah.
about how exactly what's gonna go on.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
And then back to his antics as soon as he walked
Yeah.
out the door.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's not even.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's
get it.
Yeah. Like I have friends who are signed and they have like some of my friends are on tour in Europe,
Yeah.
and one of the things the label said was like, make sure you guys are always taking professional photos and uploading them. If one of their questions or demands were, make sure you guys are always posting pictures of you eating food, guess what they were gonna do?
Post pictures about them getting some food.
The label says you do it. You know, their photo shoot that they did in San Antonio.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we want it to be like, because like there's some like Mexican guys in the band. They want it to be kind of like Mexican themed because you're from San Antonio, and like where like, it sounds kind of dumb. And we did it anyways, and they didn't use them. However, those are one of the demands. That's what artists do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they tell you what to do, you do it.
They give you structure.
Exactly.
Right.
They give
Oh,
you.
They're
structure.
gonna make sure you're successful.
Yep.
Now, how important is it to build those bridges with, or make those connections with people when you're coming up? Like, I think a lot of the time nowadays, people are burning bridges faster than they're building bridges.
Right.
course.
Little Pump, for one example, he was supposed to
Right.
do a show for you guys and never showed.
He's probably the only one that I might consider doing a show with still, because he did not sign the contract. Like, there's a contract issue there, and
Okay.
Famous Dex and Smoke Perp did break their contracts.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
just it's you have to build, like I said, like off camera. We have to build our network, right? So even
Yeah.
as big as you are, I've seen some pretty big artists fall off right away.
Yeah.
Like we talked about,
Of course.
we've seen it. However, if you still have your network and like your safety net of people you can always count on, you're gonna be taken care of. You know, one of my good friends
Yeah.
slash people I looked up to for design or look up to, his name's David. He was out in LA running Joy Rich for like years, and he's in San Antonio
Joy
now.
Rich, is that a clothing line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're humongous.
Yeah.
I know like Snoop Dogg's son is like the creative
Yeah,
director now.
I've seen a few.
shit.
Yeah, David was like the man behind that whole thing. He stepped away from it. He lives in San Antonio now. Didn't burn bridges, you know, and we got to go to cool events together. I mean, because he still had his friends and people who take care
Yeah.
of him because he just kept that relationship alive. Like
Yeah.
that's what it's about. It's about building the bridges, not burning the bridges.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's really what it comes
Exactly.
down to. I mean, if you want to do it, by all means, go for it. I have some relationships that I built and grew with that now they make a living off what they do. You know, one of the photographers that I work with a lot, his name's Josh Huskin. I worked with him when he was in a studio when I was 15. He was in a studio, and like I would pitch him to people. I didn't want to use him. Now he's doing major things. Even people
Wow.
like Eric, like Dedspot Eric. Like I told
Yeah.
Ryan straight up, like, hey man, like I don't really want to use him right now because
Right.
his quality is not quite there. You know, keep
But
you know,
keep
motivating,
building.
keep motivating him to
Exactly.
do better. Even like Tail shot the same
Tail,
thing. It's
yeah,
like
Tail's doing real good
I mean,
too.
it's just because like the businesses that I do, I have an expectation, and it has to
Right.
be looked a certain way. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Absolutely.
it's like not to be offensive. It's just I have an expectation, and my clientele have an expectation of me. You know?
Still
So-
got room to grow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing them work. I texted Eric right away. Hey man, those pictures you just posted, they're amazing. Let's work together.
Wow.
I talked to Tail in person at the Lil Durk show, bro. You're
Yeah.
killing it, man. Like
Mhm.
Lil Durk actually posted Tail's photo on his
Twice.
Instagram.
Wow.
Twice.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So
I was like,
it's all about
His-
communication.
That San Antonio picture that he has out.
yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I'm telling
That's
you, like
crazy.
that looks
Beautiful.
so good. It's like you just gotta keep working.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to keep working
It's,
because
it's consistency as well.
it's really what it is. It's consistency. You know, exactly. It's content. How much content are you gonna put out there? Like you can't post something. I mean, this goes down for any kind of business. You can't
Yeah.
like talk about it today, not tomorrow. You know, how
Mm-hmm.
many times do you see a Starbucks is driving down the highway?
Too many damn times.
A lot.
You see it all the time. How many Coca-Cola commercials do you see?
Yep.
Tons, especially during the holidays. A polar bear.
Now you're gonna want a Coke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
It works all the time. It's all about content. How much
Yep.
content are you going to put out there? You know, and that's what they're doing. And they're getting better at it. You know,
Yes.
I got my brother the job to film Danny Green's documentary with his best friend Mark Campbell. It's for a basketball camp they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
You know, I got my brother on that. You know, Des got to shoot the shoot. You know, shoot the photos. My brother did the video. You know,
Wow. So
all that.
everybody's involved.
It doesn't happen by coincidence. You know, like you
Yeah.
don't just get like
Gotta make shit
randomly
happen.
selected. You don't just go, oh well, he's my friend. I'm gonna get his brother to do it. Like no,
Exactly.
like he had to go through the same process of being, you know, filtered out through all the other people. And he got picked for the job. You do that with content.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know,
Your
even
portfolios,
even
your
with
resumes.
music, you can't just like post and be like, okay, well that was good. Constant post videos, songs, pictures.
And we were just actually talking about that
Yeah.
earlier before you guys came. Like staying consistent is a big thing, and not procrastinating. It's another big
No.
thing. Those are the two
Right.
main things that will knock somebody off their
Yeah,
high
Definitely.
horses.
Definitely.
Timing is
Not-
is everything.
We
Honestly,
were just talking about that in
Yeah.
the car on the way
Yeah.
over here.
That's crazy.
the band that I was
Yeah.
in, right, we're doing so well. Long story short, my lead singer did not show up to one of the shows because he was at Six Flags. Shout out Reed Washington.
Reed motherfucking Washington.
Fuck.
Yeah, maybe you'll interview him. He'll give you his side of the story. He didn't show up, right? Wrong show because he didn't show up to that one particular concert. We still went on. We did terrible. We got off. There's a scout who was looking to book the next band on this huge tour, and at that time, every band and artist on that tour we're huge fans of and we're friends with too. Well, our other friends who performed after us got picked, rightfully so. They were amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was super happy for them. Upset that Reed didn't show up.
Yeah.
Timing, you know.
Timing's
At the
everything.
same time,
Everything is timing.
because that didn't happen, I also had a better relationship with one of my sponsors, and then they were like, you know, we're doing some pretty cool things together. So I mean, everything happens for a reason, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
However, wrong show to not show up at.
Mhm.
You know, it's the same thing. Like, you don't want to burn the wrong person. You don't want to be like, oh, I'll just post it tomorrow. I'll see what happens, because somebody else is going to get ahead.
Yep.
Somebody else is going to get the show.
Now, we say don't burn bridges. Like, it's so easy just to have good relationships with everybody. If that was the case, it would be a peaceful world. It's kind of hard sometimes not to feel turned off from somebody if you really are not feeling their vibe. Have you guys ever encountered somebody where you were like, never again, I
Yep.
will never?
Yeah, like
Besides
if you come at me
your
right
two-
away.
It happens. It's just a part of the industry. There's two different relationships. You want to have a personal relationship and a business relationship with somebody.
Yes.
If it's a
It's
business
kind of
relationship,
hard to separate those.
you have to get. It takes practice. Honestly, it's not
Yeah.
easy. It's not easy. You have to know what conversations to have with certain kind of people and what kind of relationship. If you get too personal with a business relationship and something turns you off by them,
Yeah.
and you don't talk to them,
Then that
and they
affects the
feel
business.
like they got rejected by you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you just burned that bridge.
Hey, you gotta put a filter on.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So that's it. If it's a personal relationship, keep it personal. If it's a business relationship, keep it business.
Right.
That way, that never has to happen.
What do you, in Dedspot Agency, are you guys all personal or is it just strictly business?
Now it's personal.
Yeah, we're like
for the
for the most part, everyone on the team we've known for years. Or
Yeah, yeah, close
we
enough
have,
to
we have a good.
It was
coffee.
They're they're my best friends. Everybody on the team is like a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna
That's
have
good.
it was
Just a
very
random,
with him and Ryan and I. It was very business for quite a while.
right at first with him.
You know,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's what it was. I mean, it's just business, and then eventually, like, I think the Halcyon bro
The dates.
Yeah,
Bro dates.
the Halcyon bro dates kicked
I
in.
mean,
And, like,
once you see each other, you know, liking what you're about, you know what I mean? Y'all are easily gonna come.
no,
together.
even like Ajax, love that kid to death. Same thing.
Yeah,
like, it's just
straight.
like you just gotta know. Like, him and I, we're cool on a personal level. We also know when it's business. Same thing with Ryan. Sometimes
Right,
we'll go
right.
just chit chat about our day, about what we're doing. And then other days we'll to talk about business.
Yeah.
It has to be
Right.
business, and you have to know. Like it said, it's not easy. It takes practice. You have to
Yeah.
know when to take it personal and when to take it as constructive. That's
Yep.
really
Right.
what it is.
Absolutely.
And if you can't take the constructive criticism, maybe you're in the wrong business.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Wrong business,
I would
wrong
say
time.
that.
Yep.
I would say
Honestly,
I mean, I get a lot of constructive criticism on Twitter
that. I mean,
from
Twitter
all
is
these
the worst.
angry people.
Twitter is
Hey,
the
man,
worst.
honestly, it's no bad media is bad. I mean, all
Publicity.
media, yeah, the publicity. No, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I mean,
You-
I don't know. You can't have bad
I
publicity
feel like
though.
so too. I like that saying in a sense, but I feel like in a sense you can also have bad like.
I mean, people are your name is gonna come out their mouth either way,
Right.
bad or good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's true.
take that shit and run with it.
it's what you do with the publicity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So
exactly.
it can be bad and it can kill you, or it can be bad and you can prove those people wrong.
exactly.
All right,
Which
so-
is what we did with these cancellations. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
they're just trying to bamboozle you, trying to take your money. First of all, I'm not gonna go out of my way to book an entire show, take these get this ticket money and refund it if I'm trying to rip you off.
Yeah,
Like, why would I
exactly.
refund it?
yeah.
It
Yeah,
makes
and I
no
did see
sense.
several posts of
Oh,
you
so-
saying, giving the link to where they can get their
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't own the ticketing website to make all that. So of course, the people that want refunds have
Yeah.
to go
But
out
not
their
even-
way to get their refund.
But not even that. Not everything always falls in line. Even the grade A artists cancel shows.
Right.
You're working
Justin
with a lot
Bieber
of independent
Canceled a whole damn
variables.
tour, I think.
Yeah.
You know
Last
what I
year,
mean?
I bought a ticket for at the F1 race in Austin. The
Yeah.
Weekend was headlining it,
Mhm.
and my girlfriend loves The Weekend.
Yeah.
Bought tickets for that show. We were at the gym. Oh, Usher and the Roots are performing. Okay, that's cool. The Weekend's not showing up.
Oh,
was like,
I would have been pissed.
I
Now,
thi-
if Kendrick Lamar would have canceled this Dallas concert that I went to, it
Yeah.
would have been on.
It
and
happens
rocking.
all the time. Even
Kanye.
Kanye West. It happens
Kanye.
literally every time.
I don't think anybody could depend on
I bought
Kanye.
tickets.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
You know-
To
you
it.
I
know
was
what?
pissed.
Well, that's funny. That's what I told people. I was like, look, I saw him in Austin.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I was like, he might just hit that yay button, and he might do something crazy or not show up.
I would never.
It's like you. It's I think
It's
that's the
a
whole part of the
gamble.
experience. Exactly. So when
Yeah.
he's like, always coming to San Antonio, I was like,
Yeah,
something
I
to it. Let
know.
me just wait. And then he canceled it, and people were like, oh my gosh. why would you expect anything different?
But okay, so that brings me to another good point that I want to bring up. I feel like San Antonio, people don't take San Antonio serious, and that's one of the reasons why it hasn't been put.
Everyone
on the map.
always says, you always hear, San Antonio ain't shit. San Antonio ain't
I
doing
mean-
shit. And this is from the people here.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
Yeah,
This is people here.
Talk about themselves.
Right.
Does anyone know who Blake is, the rapper?
Blake.
Who's
No.
that? Nah, I'm just playing. Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's a Blake, right? Like, I don't care what anyone has to say about that guy, good or bad. I mean,
He's also a good businessman.
He's
Doug.
great at business. That dude
Doug.
kills it.
Isn't he Danny Green's like cousin or something like that?
I don't think so.
That's
know.
what I heard multiple times.
I could
but
be wrong. I can ask him.
Yeah, ask him.
I can ask him. Blake, I'm gonna hit you up. I mean, I don't know that.
Yeah.
He since before I even heard about him and Mateo, they're like, I remember Art was like, hey, do you know who they are? No, they're big. I have no idea who they are. And I checked them out, and I was like, yo, these guys are a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah.
And I just kept my eye on him, on Blake and Mateo, and like I was looking at Blake, and it's like, man, Blake has his own like recording company for music videos. Blake is coming out with music. Blake has a look.
Ice cream
Blake,
visuals.
Yeah, like Blake's just like constantly doing all his work, just killing it. And
And
it's like,
he edited his own videos at
yeah,
first.
Yep.
Blake
That's crazy, man.
is like, he's a really smart business guy.
Yeah,
like straight
absolutely.
up smart for business. So like people go like, oh, like San Antonio ain't shit. Da da da. It's like, look, guys, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I say San Antonio maybe was not put on the map for the youth because people were still getting signed out of San Antonio. Just the
Yeah.
older people were.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody was claiming it.
Some people
There's
were.
no-
It's just not in this genre though. Now,
Oh, okay.
like in the youth, like there are people who are making it, and Blake's one of them. And I remember perfectly, and I even told Rex, I told Alamo, told everybody. Blake did an interview with 106, the beat. No, what is it? Power 106, Power 106 in LA. People listen to that station all day on iHeartRadio while they're driving to work. Like it's a big station to be interviewed on.
Yeah.
He got interviewed, and guess what he said? Where are you from, Blake? San Antonio. I want to know how many people capitalize on that.
Austin Mahone doesn't represent San Antonio.
Well, no, because he's from like Floresville, and he went to Dallas,
yeah.
then Miami,
But
and like.
still.
The main
Still.
market here. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
the
I mean,
market
but
is
still, it's
there.
like, well, I think it comes down to like who supports you.
Yeah.
Like, who's your client base? Like Blake has huge support from San Antonio. He reps San Antonio. Like,
Absolutely.
if that's not enough of a motivation for you to try to kill it and do something with that, I mean, even for that brief moment where he had that interview, people knew that San Antonio was on the map. Even if it was for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
timing's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do when he said that? As an artist, people who are watching this, artist, what did you do when he said he's from San Antonio?
Probably got happy.
He is a rapper
Oh, dude.
from San Antonio.
Probably happy as shit.
What
The
did they do,
other
though?
artists were probably just like, damn. Well,
Either happy or hating.
Yeah,
One
Right.
or
happy or
two.
hating.
hating. One of
What,
the
what
two.
did you do about it though?
Exactly.
Like, what did you do to capitalize on that? Like, there's. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
people
not
probably
gonna.
don't think that deep in.
Nah.
Like, oh, he said
Yeah.
San Antonio. Oh, what up?
I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys how to market yourself. I mean, I can.
Yeah.
You can hit me up and you can pay me.
Yep.
I'm not gonna tell you how to do it though. Like,
yeah.
Blake's a smart guy. Lil J, his manager, is a very smart guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember Brex one day he's like, yeah, Lil J kind of blew me off. Lil J's business, man. Like you can't just like waste his time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
You
he's
know?
really out here.
And then once you kind of get cool with him, you can become friends later. Fine. You know, you look at someone's success, they're not wasting time. It's business.
Absolutely.
Business. You know, so like, okay, look at if I was an artist from San Antonio doing hip hop, I would look at exactly what Blake's doing and mimic that. I would do it no different. I would have my own sound.
I wouldn't necessarily put in those words, but you want to.
No,
You
no,
see
I know.
what you
No,
see.
no,
You see what your competition is doing and how they've become successful, and you can implement those things in your own self.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like copy how he dresses and how he sounds. I'm saying like,
Right.
what are the business moves that he's
the
doing?
steps that
Right.
he's taking
Do
to
that.
get to that place.
Yeah, like if you're not an artist in San Antonio or anywhere for that matter. I mean, if you know, we're talking about San Antonio now. So if
Right.
you're an artist from San Antonio and someone asks you, what music do you play? Oh, I'm a rapper. Oh, cool. Who's the biggest artist San Antonio has? What are you gonna say?
Mm.
Probably Blake, right? He's the biggest
Yeah.
statistically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Numbers
absolutely,
biggest out of San
yeah.
Antonio,
You,
right?
you know the San Antonio list and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The top
Yeah.
rappers.
That
They-
list is
they
I
cool.
don't know.
put
That
that
list
there.
is
The-
all right.
the-
Like,
look,
I kind of try to help
That's
that
alright.
whoever runs that page.
Yeah.
I saw it when it came up, and I thought it was a cool idea. I hit them up. I sent them a list. that first list that was dropped, honestly, like the people that were on there were like, I sent this guy his names on that list.
I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a matter of opinion. I mean, or you can
Yeah.
look at stats. That's fact. What's in black and white are
Yeah.
stats, right? So, okay, what are Blake's numbers? Why aren't you making videos that look as good as his?
Right.
You know?
So he's just something. He's pretty much a platform that you're looking at. Like, all right, bam, we need to take these steps and implement
Right.
him
Because
to the
because
art.
he's
Yeah,
created
So
himself
are you
as a
guys
business.
using his
Because it
kinda, like,
works.
his? Are you guys
Like,
using his procedures?
Once you
for
start
your-
making
for
money
your
off
business, or-
off of your things, it's a business, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's made a business for himself as a rap artist, and all the moves that he's made, they've been smart. That's why he's still able to be on top right now.
I
Or he's
want-
been
I
on
want-
top.
I mean, to answer your question, I still use the very same basic business principles. That's what I do for my clothing brand. That's what I do for my real estate brand. That's what I
Yeah.
do for whatever I do. I mean, if you sit down and really, really get down to business,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll figure out, oh man, what he's doing is what this person said in this book, or what this person posted on YouTube, or like, it's very basic principles. It's content
Yeah.
Right.
all the time. What do people want? Content. Boom. Put it out there. What do people want to hear? Give them that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
be innovative with your sound and do your thing, and be unique. In how you look. But the very basics are all the same though. It's never changed. It's just
Yep.
people don't want to do it
You're right.
because it makes them uncomfortable, or because whatever the case is. I mean, even like look at people like the Suicide Boys. Look how big they are.
They're fucking huge
Yeah, they
now.
are.
They made a
Yeah.
comment about how like,
Worldwide.
we don't have a PR guy or anything. That's cool, and some people will make it like that, and then eventually we'll get
Make
one.
it work. Yeah.
Some people do.
But
Honestly,
they still have a management team. They don't got a PR guy. They still got a management team.
yeah,
though.
they have a good management team. I remember Obama made a speech one day, and he was like, I mean, everyone wants to be like Lil Wayne, which is good. However, focus on your school stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's the same thing. Like some people just make it. It's timing is everything. Some people are just gonna kill it and create a huge fan
And some
base.
people have to work 10 times hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a
Suicide
whole.
Boys did not just like, they were not just big like overnight. They were doing it for years. They were coming to San Antonio and playing in the basement, the small
Yeah.
rooms, having like 20, 40 people there. And now they're playing this in November. They're playing the Aztec Theater that holds 1,600 people here in
Wow.
town. Not considering that they've done much bigger. Back home in Louisiana, they sold out 7,000 people for their home event a couple months ago.
That's putting your city on
Right.
That
there.
is. What would you, if you could explain your everyday? Well, I don't want to say everyday, but a day in the life at Dedspot Agency. You wake up.
I wake up.
What do you do next? Check your phone. I'm sure you got Twitter tweets.
Yeah,
and
check
all
the-
that.
Actually, mine's gonna sound kind of weird.
don't know.
Some people,
I'm like-
my day's a little different than most. I change my routine. I wake up.
Right,
I'll do a morning prayer. I'll do like this breathing routine, get my mind right.
Yo, he is really Russell Simmons.
Yeah, and then I'll go to the gym for about 30 minutes, just kind of get it out. I go home, and then I'll try to set some time aside to go to my office and really buckle down on what I have to do.
Yeah.
So you have a physical office.
And then in
Awesome.
between that, like I'll read a book. I try to always kind of motivate myself with something somewhere.
Awesome.
And then obviously the basics like eat, drink coffee, that kind of stuff. Spend some time with my girlfriend, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something that's always gonna build me up. I do some research on whatever I'm doing. That's kind of like my routine pretty much every single day.
Nice.
What about you, Ryan?
I don't know. My day, I don't ever organize my days. I'll forget things that I say I'm going to do.
Yeah,
like-
I feel that.
I don't know. It's just, my days are just all over the place. I don't like to plan things because other things can pop up that.
Sounds like Dom.
It just happens like that. They just pop up.
Hey now.
Like, I can say I want to go hang out with my
Today's
friends,
with his book now.
but like I can say I want to go hang out with my friends, but if the opportunity comes up to go have a meeting for a sponsor, I'm gonna go do that
Yeah,
instead.
of course.
So I'm like,
True,
sometimes I'll cancel on people, but it's not on purpose.
It's not personal. or anything,
Like
what
I'm
I
up 24/7. I don't really sleep.
She's
I'm
not
on
kidding.
Twitter. At hours
Really?
of the
What do
day,
you
yeah.
do? What do you?
I'm just working on something. Like,
Wow.
and people can talk all the shit they want. You're just sitting behind your computer, right? But that's my work.
You have
like,
haters that
You'd be
Always.
surprised. Like we get a
Always.
bunch
Yeah.
of dumb shit all the time
Always.
on the Twitter.
on Twitter.
Twitter is
Did
Did you
vicious,
just call it
dog.
the Twitter?
the Twitter.
The Twitter.
The Twitter sphere. It comes with the territory though.
Yo,
like
Twitter is vicious.
there's a guy named Ty Lopez, and he said he's like
Ty
if
Lopez is
people
dope.
like if you don't have people talking about you, like talking shit, you're not doing anything.
Exactly.
Because it's what? If you're not doing anything at all, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing. They go, hey, what's Ryan doing? Probably doing something, right? If he wasn't doing anything, right? Probably just, I don't know. Probably.
But on top of everybody, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people are sensitive nowadays.
Very
Super sensitive.
Snowflakes.
Super sensitive. And then we are trying to get into this industry to where that is not, it just can't fly. You have to have
If you're
thick
gonna get your
skin.
feelings hurt, then you probably don't need to be doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
When I,
there's again, like, we say things sometimes not because we're trying to be rude or anything. It's because, like,
you gotta hear it. You're either gonna hear it from me,
Or you're gonna hear it from
or you're
somebody.
gonna hear from somebody up top and say, "This is why you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna get signed. This is why you're not doing things because you suck. Because something's not good,
They're not
right?"
gonna sugarcoat it.
When I was doing when I was in the band, I remember we're like, there's different levels of success, right? So we hit this one ceiling, right? We hit this one ceiling. We're all right, we're the shit, and we went to my brother's orchestra teacher to show him the song. So we had recorded at this multi-million-dollar studio, and the quality sounded terrible, whatever.
Yeah.
Bad engineer. And we're like, yeah, this is dope. And he's like, yeah, you guys aren't good. Your timing's off. Blah blah. Like, oh man, that hurt.
That
And we worked. We're like, you know
But
what?
you needed it.
Yeah, we needed it. You know what?
Right.
It grounded us, and we went back to work. And then we went to another studio in
Absolutely,
Missouri to work with this producer who was like cranking out artists who were getting signed left and right. And we go up there, and he's like, you know, your image needs some work. However, you guys suck. You know, your timing's
Right.
still off. You know, you guys need to do this. You don't even know what the wall of sound is. And again, like, we didn't take it personal. Like, you pay someone to tell you that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pay someone to make you feel good. If you want to be,
Yeah.
if you want to feel good, go talk to your grandma or your mom. Like, you know, you're number one in their eyes, probably. You know,
Yeah.
If you're in this industry and you want to be taken serious, you gotta talk to people who are gonna tell you that this isn't good.
Yeah.
Ryan sent me a link to a video he's working on. Hey, what do you think about it? I'm not gonna be
you're
like,
dead
I'm not gonna be like, this is the best video on earth.
Yeah.
I told him,
Yeah.
I was like, yes, there's a glare in the video, but I think he said it was the camera.
Oh
right?
yeah, I like recorded the video
Oh, he
from
was
my
serious.
phone on
A
the
glare in
computer.
the screen.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
that.
I have to, because guess what? What I do full time is the real estate stuff, right?
Right.
And then what I also do full time is my clothing brand, right? If I have a piece of clothing and this is like when I first started, if I were to go and be like, hey, Justin Bieber, for example, will you wear this? He might look at it and be like, I mean, nothing to do about me but the clothing, right? Like,
Right,
okay,
right.
well, I mean, this still has the tag on there from the original Gildan shirt and the printed shit,
Yeah.
and it fits. It's not even my size, you know. This is I probably won't wear it, you know.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
He's being
Yeah.
honest.
That
yeah.
happens a lot. If someone were to be honest with me from the very beginning, then I'd be like, all right, cool. Thanks for your honesty. I'm gonna work on that. And someone has been in my life, in whatever industry I'm in, someone has always been honest. Whether it be in real
Right.
estate, someone telling me don't puff your chest out, you gotta do better.
Yeah.
From clothing telling me, hey, you know, you're doing things the wrong way, you're paying too much. From
Yeah.
music in the street, people telling me I'm not good. Like, I thank all those people.
Right.
You know, you
absolutely.
really, you honestly need that.
You
know,
need
it-
constructive criticism.
yeah.
Always.
Otherwise, you're gonna be like all up here saying, "Oh, I'm the shit," and then you're gonna go to like L.A. Right? I think it's so funny when people go, "I'm going to L.A." I'm from L.A. It's big.
Yeah.
L.A. is a huge
It's
city.
Just
Traffic
going there
sucks.
isn't really
Traffic
gonna.
sucks. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a big city. I mean, you can go to different parts of L.A. and be in a whole different world. Like, I have family in Inglewood and Hawthorne and the Valley and Beverly Hills. you
Yeah, I
know.
got family
My
there.
family everywhere, you know. It is like, I remember when I first went to LA as being in a band. I went to Ventura, and that's where Kyle's from. Super
Right.
Duper Kyle.
Yeah.
He's from there. And I remember we're like passing out CDs, and people were like, "Ugh, like, where are you?" And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "What do you mean? Who am I? I'm like super big in San Antonio. What do you mean?" And it's like that happens a lot. You go out to
Yeah.
LA, you think you're the shit. You go, and people are gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
They don't care about you. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
I go to events all the time, and like people are like, "Oh, hi, my name is so and so," and I've all this Twitter clout or Instagram clout. I was like, personally, that doesn't impress me. Personally, you know, I don't know why. I just don't get impressed.
I
by
think
myself.
the Twitter clout, Instagram clout. I think that's
It's a real deal though. Like
it's
people really
serious.
take that serious.
these numbers out here are serious, and I don't know what's real, what's fake anymore.
I can
I
tell
go
you.
I go on just anybody's page, and
I can tell
I
you.
look at their content, and I'm like, how in the hell do you have this many followers, and your content is weak?
Do followers
You can really tell
get
by
10% of those
engagement.
followers? If 10% of your followers are not engaged, it's probably fake or you're
Yeah.
probably boring.
Mhm.
One of the two.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, look at that. Oh, I have 10,000 followers. Right? It's like Rex, for example. Rex is
Yeah.
a perfect example. He has, I think, like 6,000 followers. However, like over 6,000 people watch his videos. He has all these comments.
Hundreds of
His-
likes, hundreds of comments.
His SoundCloud, I think, is
So
almost
you
at
can
20,000.
tell who's actually engaged.
That's
with their
legitimate. Yeah. If
Yeah.
I post something and nobody cares, either I had it and I don't anymore, or it was fake. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people fake it.
Yeah.
Fake it till you
fake
make
to make
it.
it's cool and
Fake it
all.
till you
I
make it.
mean, yeah.
However, whenever you come across,
To an extent.
I mean, if I wasn't so analytical and about the statistics, you'd probably fool me. Like, oh, you're great. However, because I am about that, I'm like, hold on here.
At least
does
for
not-
like
that-
what
that's
we
not
look
matching,
for.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, that does-
how we gauge our
Yeah.
engagement and stuff
that
like
is
that.
that
yeah.
doesn't match. It doesn't. So that's one
It's
way.
like the value,
Something's not
like when
adding
someone
up.
tries to give me a price for how much they want, it's like, all right, so the first thing I do is check their social media.
Yeah.
People say you can't gauge a show on people's social media, but you can gauge their activity and their followers. How engaged are their followers with them?
Right.
If you got a lot of activity from your followers, that means people really love you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, that'll work. You know, like
you could work
if
with that,
if you got 100,000 followers and you get one like, one retweet per post or whatever, you're probably fake.
And that's how you distinguish whether you will work with the person or not.
That's like there's a bunch of.
I mean, there's a bunch of
Yeah, there's a
factors,
lot of
but that's
factors.
if you.
If someone's like, "Oh, I got major clout tokens," I'm gonna go and make sure you got the clout tokens.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know like some of my friends that are out in LA, like Reed's one of them. I mean, most of them are still starving artists out there. They
Yeah.
gotta do a
Right.
lot of things for free. Like, it really grounds you. I mean, when he was in Arizona, he was here. He went to LA, and he was working with like Waka Flocka.
He did a little session with Migos.
He had big people. I mean, at the same time, he was like he wanted to be here, but the same people in the room were putting him right down here.
Yep.
Because one moment you're it, the next you're not, and it's like, I mean, and he's still doing work now, and I'm really proud of him. And there's a lot of people who go out there and barely survive and come back, or some that don't survive at all and then just stop completely.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the reason why they went out there, it's because that's the real challenge. If you can make it in the big markets like L.A. or New York, or if let's say like right now, like the wave right now is in Miami, I'd say Miami is like kind of on the map right now.
Yeah, they got a lot of the
Florida.
underground.
You
artists
know,
from there.
Florida in general.
Yeah,
right
Florida's
Mhm.
like coming out. It's a big market. Like you're gonna do well nationally in certain parts of the market. You know,
Absolutely,
it just you just have to. I mean, if you wherever you think you're popping, go somewhere else and see how you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really it. You know, that's gonna be the biggest test for whatever it is that you're doing. Honestly.
San Antonio has the opportunity to be the next like L.A. or New York.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Texas is huge. I mean, there was one statistic back like maybe a couple years ago. At some point, every person in the world could fit in Texas if we all like stood right next to each
Wow.
other.
There's no reason why we're not on the
Right.
map. You know
And-
what I mean?
Texas, I mean, Texas has like an event music scene. Like we do a lot of dope events here in Texas, right?
Yeah.
But there's no real music scene. There's no. It's
Yeah.
not L.A.
It's
yet.
not a music
We
scene at all.
definitely have the opportunity. to
I
make
would
this
say
happen
we should look up to Atlanta at what Atlanta's
Atlanta
doing.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, I've been watching a lot, and they say that Atlanta is all about camaraderie. Every artist supports the next artist. Every producer
That's
supports the next
exactly
producer.
what I'm talking
But
about.
that's
what
not
it
the
is.
case.
We don't
here.
have
here.
no support here from
don't
nobody.
don't even go to Atlanta. Go to Houston or Dallas. Like you have Trill Sammy and Dice Soho.
Yeah.
I went to an
Max
event.
O'Cream,
I went to an event in
Khalid,
Houston.
El
Yeah,
Paso.
Yeah, I went to an event in Houston called Sneaker Summit. Trey the Truth was there. Dice Soho was there. I forgot who else was there. But a bunch of people just hanging out. Slim Thug.
Yeah,
hanging out.
yeah.
Oh, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Because they understand the concept of if I make it, we all make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Miami. Who does XXX Tentacion always put up?
Oh, they're I watched
Slum
this.
God, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you
Slump
go.
God,
What is
Slump God,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Slump God or whatever, right?
Ski Mask.
Ski Mask,
Oh,
right?
Ski
Ski Mask. And then you have like Lil Pump, Smoke Purp, who put who on? Lil Pump.
Low pump. Yeah.
People were like, "Who's
Yeah,
that guy
and
in the video?"
Yeah.
Who put on Trippie Redd?
Good question. I like him though. I like Trippie Redd.
He's really dope.
He needs some chapstick.
The whole.
Hold
he
on,
sounds
hold
just
on.
like Lil Uzi.
Time out. You were talking shit about Trippie Redd
I
last
said
time.
he needs some chapstick.
You
I
said you didn't like his
I
music.
don't. I just said
Oh
he
my
needs.
God.
I don't like Trippie Redd. I don't like the arrogance of these new artists coming up. I don't like the arrogance.
I think what it is, honestly,
Turns me off.
I think it's just like a facade, honestly, because I've met a lot of these people and they're cool as they get. When I was at Mall Luna last year, I think like the only artist who I didn't really get to talk to was Tory Lanez because he stayed in his bus the whole time.
Dog.
I mean, Travis
That
Scott
guy's
was
cool.
Travis Scott was
I
cool.
love Tory.
You know, honestly, who was probably the coolest guys at the show?
Who?
Ray Shremmerd. Those
They
are
look like they're all about fun.
those guys are gonna make it so far in the industry because their attitudes don't suck.
Yeah.
They were in the back, like talking to everybody, like, "Hey, what's up?" Like running around with Lil Yachty, throwing water at each other. Like it was like a good,
All right.
chill.
It's a
So
good vibe,
that's now that you brung up Ray Shremmerd, how do you feel about Sway Lee kind of doing? I mean, who is managing Sway Lee? Are they
I
in the
have no
same
idea.
management team? Like, what would y'all do in that situation if you guys were managing a group or a duo,
Right.
and one is starting to prosper more than the other? In that case, what is going on behind the scenes?
I mean, it's like the situation with Migos. It's like, did you get left off Bad and Bougie? Like,
I got
no,
left off
they're
Bad and
all
like
Migos.
I got left up. Well, shit, they're all Migos, but who do you know more? Quavo
I mean,
has literally had a verse
right.
on everybody's song this year.
I just want to
Everybody.
say, I saw when I first heard Migos, I thought it was one person.
Really?
Until I saw an interview and I was just like, what the fuck?
Three guys.
Mind
Right.
blown.
You didn't see the Versace?
Well,
the Versace?
I mean, but without all three of them, there is no Migos, and then there would just be Quavo. I mean, he does do his songs on his own.
yeah.
Sway Lee does songs on his own, and that's just because people want him on the tracks. If
Yeah.
there's a group and I only want one person from that group on my show, that's probably what I want to do. I don't want to
maybe
pay
it's-
for the whole group.
It's I can only afford one person, so you get the best person.
Right.
So if you
Yeah,
guys were
something like that.
managing a duo like that, and somebody did want to work with one person over the other, you guys would encourage that for that person.
If it makes sense for everybody, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what, Lil Pump, I don't know him personally. That guy's cool though. You know
Right,
why?
and then- okay,
you know why?
just-
Because we're like, hey, you know what? We want to offer Smoke Purp less because Lil Pump is more popular. You know what he said? Nah, you're gonna pay me, or you're gonna pay Smoke Purp, or you would pay me.
Right.
That's badass. Lil Pump's more popular statistically.
Yeah.
So
right?
he didn't want to share the stage with.
No, he didn't want us to, because we wanted to offer Smoke Purp less than Lil Pump
Yeah.
because
Okay.
Lil Pump's more popular.
Okay.
And he's like, mm-mm.
We
wants all
gotta
of
get
it.
paid the same amount.
Yep. Because
Oh,
Smoke Purp
he wanted for both of them to get paid. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Smoke
Well,
Purp put
that's-
me on.
That is respectful.
That is very
Yeah.
respectable.
Man, like we saw that, we're like, nice.
That is very respectable.
Honestly, that's
Yeah.
respectable. You know, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with Ray Shremmer. Doesn't it happen at some point? Relationships build. You start experimenting with
Right.
music. I guarantee you there's music with those two guys by themselves like 50 times. Slim Jimmy or his name?
Slim Jim.
Yeah, Slim
I'm
Jim.
not sure.
He has music with K
Slim
Camp
Jim.
by himself. He has a song with K Camp by himself.
No.
And then
What-
even if they were left like the Bad and Bougie thing back to Migos, they still splitting the check 3 ways,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
regardless.
Well, yeah.
They're getting
So
paid.
what you were talking about with what were you saying? With that, what we just talked about. It was the how you get paid the same or whatever. Okay,
Right.
so when he gets paid the same, there's levels to it. So, you know, once this guy has so much fuck, I lost my train of thought.
like if
I
Lil
mean,
Pump,
now
like
it
if Lil-
probably
like-
won't happen.
Like if Lil Pump was so much bigger than Smoke Purp.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that wouldn't happen. I
like
mean,
right now, it's already like that. Like, I think Lil Pump is about 20K right
Yeah.
now. I will not give Smoke Purp 20K for.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
no way.
it's just a good thought. I mean, what the negotiations always, comes down to the managers. So that's between the promoter and the manager.
Yep.
You know, if that's what Lil Pump wants, then that's cool. I just think that's commendable. Like that's awesome that as a person you're looking out for your brother,
Yeah.
Yeah.
/ best friend,
No,
or whoever who put
definitely
you on.
respectable
That's
move.
great. Now, is it ideal? Maybe not. It's just the idea of it was real cool.
Could this be the reason why San Antonio is not coming together? Is because if y'all make it as a group, one person is gonna come out more than others.
No, it's because someone always wants to be the one person. They want to be the top dog. They want to be the most known. It's not about, like, sure, you're in a group, but there's always that, well, who's the best one in the group?
You don't even have to call it a group, to be honest with you.
Right.
You can work with somebody else. You can work with these companies in San Antonio. You can work with these artists and make something happen. But it's the fact that, like you said, everyone wants to be on top.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with working together. It's just people don't want to work together. Our friend
Yeah.
Bailey, he good friend of mine. You know, I'm glad I'm not too good to talk to him. I'm glad he's not too good to talk to me. He has really awesome friends out in LA that I would have
Yep.
probably never met if it wasn't for him or even heard of them. You know,
Yeah.
it's all about the relationships and the things people don't understand. That if today everyone in San Antonio would be like, you know what, let's get together and put the best damn show and show the industry what's up, people will get signed a lot because a lot of people don't know in San Antonio a lot of really important people live here.
Yep.
People in the
Mhm.
industry, people
Mhm.
with money. There's a lot of people. They just either they don't know or they don't care to know or maybe they're just doing this for fun. If everyone was just to really sit down and be like, hey, let's be realistic and let's put on the best show possible and
Yeah.
let's don't talk about money. Let's just talk about putting the best show ever. Good things would happen.
The money will come.
Yeah,
The money's going
that's
to come.
that's
Yeah.
that was the success to our sold out shows. Whenever I was doing music when I was in the band, that was the success. The success was that it was us and 3 other bands that we were great friends with, which we're still friends with those people today. A lot of people don't understand what a label does. All a label is a bank.
Yep.
That's it. A bank with employees. So
with great connections too, that can easily.
But they charge for all that though. It's not free. It's a bank. They give you a loan. They're gonna say, all right, I'm gonna sign you. Great. I'm giving you 50 grand. Cool. Now we have an expectation of you, so we can get our money back.
Yep.
And then from there, they put you with different. There's a ton of people. Like one of my friends, he was gonna get paid by the label just to take this one artist to festivals and just show him around and talk to people. And this same guy put on Becky G.
Wow.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of pieces to a label, and I feel like the majority of the time people get taken advantage of. They get shelved. For people who don't know what being shelved is, imagine a bookshelf, and if your whole career was in a CD, they'd put you in a shelf.
That's how it is.
And they don't pull you out until they need you.
So just like their cachet, like
Yeah.
this is what I got.
And and you still owe me money. By the way. What?
Did you guys see that little Uzi Vert only got what $900? I mean $900, damn near, compared to how much the label made. The label made $4 million off of XO Tour Life, and he got 900.
Everyone's gotta get paid. Everyone's gotta get paid.
Yep.
When you are by yourself, the money you make is your money.
There would be no Lil Uzi without that label.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. I remember him saying like, "Oh, the label sucks." Da da da. XO Tour Life is his biggest song.
Who's he signed to
date.
again? Atlantic.
To be honest, I don't know. To be honest, I forgot. I mean, XO Tour Life, they made it a big deal. They put it on radio stations. They put it everywhere imaginable. It's a give and take. So like, you're going to sacrifice some of your funds in exchange for the exposure, because you're gonna get, endorsement deals. Like whenever I was on a management, pretty much my endorsement deals was my money, and that's usually what happens with a lot of athletes, musicians, everything. Whatever you get sponsored by, your money.
Yeah.
We're gonna make money off of your merchandise. We're gonna make money off of your shows. We're gonna make money off of your music. We're gonna make money off your meet and greets. Like, it's a 360 deal. They make money off everything, which is why Uzi's not making maybe so much money on XO Tour Life. However, how much money is he making on everything else? It's a give and take. So being on a label as how it is now, how it was before, is not like necessarily in my eyes like the American dream. Like, people don't really want to get signed as bad.
Being independent is really dope right now. Look at Suicide Boys. They're still
you
independent.
make more money. You answer back to less people. I mean, you have less hands helping you out. That's why like people like Mac Miller will never get signed, because he got so successful on his own. He can stop doing music now.
Yeah.
Really?
That's it.
Yeah.
He made so much money on his own.
Russ has a partnership with his record label. He's
Who?
not. Russ?
The rapper Russ?
Yes.
He
has a partnership with his label. He's not signed to the label.
So is that what you're kind of trying to do?
I'm trying to work on partnerships, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Cool.
ultimately,
People are going that
when
route.
you're partner with someone, they're gonna be more they're gonna want to work as hard as just as you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're gonna want to work just as hard. If not, that's what I would expect from a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our goal is to make money for the artist first. So I know Rex is like, well, when do I pay you? Don't pay me. I want you to make money. I want you to be successful. And then once you get to that route, then we can talk about whatever we
need to create. We need to make him a business first before we can even think about getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in the business to take advantage of anybody. Like, I just want to help you. I want to see you grow. Ultimately, when you grow, I grow. So that's really the name of the game,
Are you guys taking a check right? Well, you did say earlier before this that all the money that you do make from helping out the artists, you put right back into the business.
Yeah,
now,
it's theirs.
what's right now, what's the number one thing that you are using the money for in your business? Like, what's
content, pictures, videos, more songs,
equipment?
The shows. Honestly, the shows is like a big one. Like, that's where a lot of the money goes, just because that's where people get to know us.
Yeah.
Like, what we do, or one thing what we do. Like, so and that helps us. Like, okay, so the entertainment is where people see us. But we don't just do entertainment, but that's where it gets exposed like crazy, because we do super lit shows or whatever. People are going to know Dedspot because of that. When they go and look us up, they can see, they do a lot more than just the shows. If the shows are this good, what else, or how good can they be at the other things that they're doing? That's how, right. So the shows I do spend a lot of time on. I spend a lot of time trying to figure out who to bring, what they're actually worth to me, or what they're worth, what they can bring into the city, that's really how I do it.
All right, guys. This has been an exclusive with Taradect, Dedspot. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
I really appreciate you, and we'll see you again next time on San Antonio Scenes.